Hello everybody, welcome to another stream tips video. This video is going to be about microphones and basic audio setup. So mainly between the difference between USB microphones and XLR microphones. So the quickest of rundowns, microphones contain three main parts. There's the microphone, there's the preamp, and then there's the analog to digital conversion at the end. If you say, but I've just got a microphone, that's probably because you've got a USB microphone which has all of those in one. The microphone gives out a mic level signal which goes to the preamp, which changes it to a line level signal. So if you see on, say, a motherboard or audio equipment where it says line in, that's expecting a line level signal. Then it goes to a analog to digital converter, which is whether it's on your motherboard, if you're plugging it straight into the line in, which isn't going to be as high quality as a separate mixer or the one that's built into a USB microphone. And the quality that you get for a microphone is limited by the lowest quality part of that 3-link chain. So if you have, say, say you have a blue Yeti, old one, but it still counts. In here, there's the microphone. Inside here, there is a preamp. And then just before the USB, it does the analog to digital conversion. On the XLR side, you could have a blue Ember. One sec. You could have a blue Ember, which is just a microphone, and it outputs a mic level signal. And then mine goes to a GOXLR, which has the preamp in and the analog to digital conversion. Right, so now comes to the comparison. So I'm going to do my blue Ember, blue Yeti, and also the Elgato Wave. I'll also show the difference in the software side of the GOXLR and the Wavelink software, so you can see roughly what happens with those. This is a test of the Wave 3 by Elgato. You should also see my face and also the Wavelink software. You can add in as many sources as you like. So there's a headphone jack on the back so that you can monitor what's going on. If it's too loud for you, but it's okay for stream, turn that down. If you want to add a new channel and put music on, you can. If you don't want to hear the music, but you want to put a little bit going out to stream, you can. If you want to be concentrating on the game only, but you want other people to have some background, then you can do that. You can also monitor the stream directly. This gives you different outputs and inputs that you can set up. I won't be going into that much, but it's basically you can adjust the levels. You have one input to your streaming software, whether it be OBS, Streamlabs, OBS, Stream Elements, or whatever you use. And yeah, it has some good cancellation and some compression. So if I was to be really loud and close, it shouldn't deafen you. But if I'm quite far away, it should be fine. It doesn't quite go back down to 0 because I had to increase the gain a little bit because it is actually quite far away from me. I would prefer it to be closer, but I'm just using the stand. I haven't been bothered to set up my arm with it. So that's just a quick mic test of the Elgato Wave 3 and a quick look at the Wavelink software. This is a very quick mic test on the Yeti. It's been a long time since I've used this actually. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. So yeah, there's no clever stuff on it. So if I get loud, it will just get louder. And if I get further away, it will just get quieter. So it's got no compressor or de-esser or anything on it. So however it turns out is how it's going to turn out. You can put other filters on later using OBS. This is usually the standard USB microphone everyone's been using for the last 10 years on YouTube. A lot of people started off with Yetis. Yeah, so hopefully you can tell the difference. Okay, this is now on the blue Ember. It's going through my GOXLR. I've got it open now. So if I was to, what you see in the background here, motorized sliders, hit mute, slides it appears on screen, and you can see it moved and slid there. And also if I move them here, chat, you can see it moves all over the place. This is a condenser microphone, so it does need phantom power. I am not going to go into the different types now. I've also, on the GOXLR, got a compressor, and well, if I go to a mic, you can see I've got an EQ, a compressor, and a de-esser. So if I was to go quite close, it shouldn't deafen you, and if I was to go quite far away, it should stay about the same volume. So if I go really right up onto it, you should be able to see that, and here, and that didn't deafen you. It's also got a sampler, so you can record certain things and play them back, and I have voice changes as well, which are these sections up here, which you turn the dials, it does stuff to your voice when you actually put on the effects. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You've got a swear, and yeah, this is basically software. You can see under mixer, there's a lot of options, but you can only assign 4 to the dials, those are the sliders. So it has less. If you have to have this open the same way as you have the wavelength software open, you have to have this open to control everything. So it's up to you if you do that, or you just set your 4 most used ones as the sliders and leave it at that. So that's been my test of the Blue Ember. You were hearing it throughout the video. This shouldn't change much. And yeah, that's the GOXLR app, which I've been using. You can probably see that it's about the same as what you get on the wavelength software, and I will end the sample now. And yes, you can use the Yeti with a mixer if it has a line in on it. So when you take your USB microphone and you plug into the headphone port, you will be using the microphone. You'll still be using the preamps of the mic, but then you'll be using the analog to digital converter that's inside the mixer. So hence why it's a line out. It takes line level sound out, which is not mic level. So it has to go through a preamp first just to boost it, because the signal that comes out of just a standard microphone is so quiet that you can get interference from a mobile phone next to it. I've had that happen before. It's so minute. The little signals that the little diaphragm make, the little magnet moving, is so weak that it needs to be boosted. And because it's such a weak signal, you need a good preamp. Yes, USB microphones you can get away with, but in the long run, you should only be using a USB microphone to start out with, or if the software is good. That's my caveat on that one, because say the Elgato Wave, their link software is so good. You can do so much with it. Just to recap, there's 3 main parts: the microphone, the preamp, the analog to digital converter. And yes, USB microphones have all 3 in one. And if you have a really expensive microphone and not a very expensive mixer, it will sound like the quality will be that of the weakest link in the chain. So it's good to get an even level of equipment of what you can afford at the time, and then say upgrade the microphone at one point and then the mixer separately. That's what I would suggest. Maybe if you start out with a USB microphone and then you buy a mixer that has a line in, so you're still using the preamp from the microphone, you're just swapping out the analog to digital converter that's in the microphone itself. So you're still upgrading one link of that chain. Granted, the weakest link will be what it sounds like, so your audio won't be that much different. You've still got all of those little tweaks that you can do to make your audio sound perfect to you. A lot of people can get lost in mixers. Every dial, if they have a separate knob for each EQ, they have like 4 inputs, but if you get it set up just right, you can sound really, really good. And then once you've upgraded, you've got your mixer for your USB microphone, you can then change out the USB microphone down the line, which in a lot of cases, depending on the microphone you choose, will be cheaper. The most common, and it's a really, really good microphone, don't get me wrong, it's just overused and expensive, and it's not useful for streaming. Maybe YouTube videos, definitely podcasts that you record at the highest quality and upload to Spotify and stuff like that. The Shure SM7B, it is overkill for Twitch. Let's just put it that way. It's a £400 dynamic microphone, which you then need to spend more on the mixer. But what happens with Twitch is it just compresses your audio. Like this microphone here is £75-80, and on Twitch it will sound roughly the same because of the amount of compression that happens to all of your high quality crisp vocals when you use a Shure SM7B. It is not worth it. Let's go deeper into the mixer that I use. It's the GOXLR. It is more simple of a mixer. It hasn't got the massive array of 35 dials, but it does do a lot more to do with like samples, and it's got a curse button for sake. And yeah, it just simplifies it. It gives you a bit of software for you to fine tweak it, and then you set it going. There's 4 sliders, you move them up and down. Okay, I want less game sound, I want more microphone. Okay, I want to turn my mic down a little bit, but let's put some music up and stuff. So you have separate sliders for stuff other than your microphone, and they're motorized, so you can press the mute button and then suddenly you get a visual look of the microphone going down. So let's go through some examples of what I'd suggest for people to, and prices suggest for people to get. So you can get a Yeti or a Yeti Nano for £100 to £130. They've got out a new one since I've brought this old relic. That's one suggestion for USB microphones. I'd also go for a Wave 1 or Wave 3. I'd probably suggest an Elgato Wave over those, simply because of the software that comes with them. I actually brought a Wave 3 for my housemate, Kooky. Yep, for Christmas, and it was on sale for the same price as the Wave 1. So depending on what time of year you look, the price will fluctuate. Then for XLR microphones, I would probably have to go for the blue Ember, not just because I have it, but because it isn't that expensive. The audio quality is pretty good. I like it. And through all of the videos that I've watched and samples of different microphones and different price brackets for each one of them, it seems to be the sweet spot as well. This is a condenser microphone, but if you want a dynamic microphone, there is the Shure SM7B, which is £400. Or for the same quality of a dynamic microphone, you can get the Rode Pod mic for just over £100. So yeah, which one do you want to go for? If you're going for XLR, you need a mixer. I would highly recommend the GOXLR. If you can find any, they've stopped making them. There's pretty high prices on eBay right now. I don't know if they're ever going to be making them again, bringing more stock out. They won't be doing a newer version because the 2 head people that pioneered this in TC Helicon don't work there anymore. And I think they didn't make much money on the parts when they made it, so I can't see them doing another one, hence why they're probably gonna go towards the software side, like Elgato and their Wavelink software. Maybe if a software company brings out free software like the Elgato Wavelink software, but it isn't just for a specific microphone, that would be pretty cool. Another audio interface mixer that I'd say probably have to be a Focusrite Scarlett. You can get a 1 input, 1 dial, 1 output audio interface or mixer from them for about £100. You can that's like the base level that they do. You can move up to more than 1 input, but if you're streaming, you only need 1 audio input. If you are streaming and playing a guitar, you may need more than 1. Or you're playing the drums, you may need more than 1. Or you may be having someone else with you. 2 microphones, need more than 1 input. But if you can't see that happening, start off with it. Maybe in the future, if you're going, okay, me and a friend are going to be doing a podcast, then you've got your microphone. You just need to buy a new mixer and 1 new microphone, and you're sorted. And then you can just keep 1 microphone as backup, use the new mixer, and you're sorted. Focusrite have a lot of products that have a huge, they got so many variations to their products that if you need it, they will probably have it. If you need one with 4 inputs because you've got 4 people sat down around a table, you can have that. It's just knowing what you want or what you need right now. So if you are one person right now but have plans in the future, possibly just buy the one for the one right now, use that. If plans fall through, you haven't spent a load of money on expensive audio equipment that you don't actually need now. Even then, in the future, sell your one that you brought for just right now and then buy a new one. In the end, it comes down to preference. So if you are recording or you're just doing a Zoom meeting on a dining room table on your laptop, get a USB microphone because they're so much easier to set up. If you're doing more of a permanent solution, so you're at a desk and you're doing a live stream 4 days a week, maybe 7 days a week, you're setting up for the long term, then you'd probably need to go for a XLR setup and a proper mixer because the audio quality is going to be much higher. In the end, it's preference. What do you want? Do you want ease, but you can probably skimp on quality, or do you want a permanent solution that you can upgrade over time? You can upgrade the mixer, the microphone, even the cable. If you really want to go for a higher quality cable, then yeah, it's totally up to you. But that's where I'm gonna end it. If you like this, hit the like button. If you didn't, you know what to do. Put a comment down below about what you want to see and what microphone and audio setup you have, and also put down below what you would recommend for different microphones. So whether it's USB microphone, XLR, what mixer, what other different, because you can have more than one piece of equipment between the microphone and the computer. You can have 4 different things that you put little tweaks onto your voice on. You can get really deep into the setup. Also, what other videos would you want to see me do? Whether you want to see me go into cameras or streaming software, maybe. Yeah, let's go streaming software. So what settings people use on OBS, how to get the best out of OBS. Your computer, you're going to use one computer, 2 computers, have one that you game on, one that you stream from, consoles and stuff like that. Just let me know down below. And if you want to see more, subscribe and also ring that bell to get notified when I next post a video. And yeah, I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.